All right, now I'm recording. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Franchise Hockey Manager 9 with the Seattle Kraken. And it's sort of a good news, bad news thing. So the bad news is my initial save won't load. I don't know what it's doing, but let me save this and I'll show you real quick. When I go to, I'm not going to load it because it's just going to crash. But when I go to the start screen and I try to load the game and I try to load this Kraken YouTube save, which is the one I was doing initially, the game crashes. It will not load. I don't know why. The date's missing. I'm not sure what happened, so it crashed. So what I had to do today is I went back and I looked at every one of my videos and I replicated all of the transactions that I made and any of the major transactions that were made across the league on the days that they happened. So it took me a couple hours to get through the season. I didn't I didn't look at every deal, but all the deals that I made, I went in and I took a look at what dates I made trades or waiver claims or things like that, and I made them. So yeah, it was a little bit of work, but I was able to kind of make everything back the way it was. The only change, obviously, or statistically, and I don't even say where we ended up because I believe we ended up in basically the same place. Yeah, we finished. Let's see. Can we look at the standings for last year? Can we look at historical standings? I can never remember if it allows me to do that. The Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup. Okay, here are the standings. So we finished with 74 points, which was the third worst record in the league, which is fine. I mean, we weren't we gave a crap ton of goals, 273 goals. But again, these are all the players that are left on the team from last season, and I think it's still going to show. Yeah, I think we have to do it this way. Let's go here, and let's go to our history. So we finished 32, 40, and 10, which was an upgrade over our inaugural season. Will it show me the stats here? It will. All right. So McCann led us. He had a 30-goal season. Not a bad season there for the 27-year-old Jared McCann. Bjorkstrand, 21 goals, 35 points. Matty Beniers had 55 points in his rookie campaign, a minus 31, but overall not terrible. Some of the players we picked up Siegenthaler, if you remember, midway through the season, Chalowski, and Brandon Carlo. So we upgraded our defense. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't about this year though, right? Mackenzie Blackwood, our starting goaltender, wasn't particularly good, but he will be our starting goalie for the upcoming years. This was our draft a year ago, and we're into July 1st. So the Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup. Let's just quickly look at the history. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go here, and then Svechnikov led the league in goals, 54 points for Andrei Svechnikov. Dylan Larkin led the NHL in points with 106. Kucherov in assists, 75 points for Nikita. Jordan Binnington, a monster season. 49 wins, a 2.23 goals against, and 13 shutouts. So a huge season for Jordan Binnington. If we look at the playoffs, Red Wings swept out the top seed Tampa Bay Lightning. The Bruins took out the Leafs. Pittsburgh over Florida, and the Rangers over Carolina. The Red Wings then beat the Bruins 4-2. Penguins over the Rangers, and the Penguins took out the Rangers in 5. Out west, it was the Blues, the Avalanche, the Jets, and the Sharks all advancing in the first round. Blues and the Jets advance, and the Blues took out the Jets in 7, and then the Penguins defeated the St. Louis Blues 4-2 in that 7-game series. So we are at free agency. We are at our annual budget. So let's take a look at that stuff. So anything we want to do here? Wage budget, starting point. So if I bump this, it's going to take me down to 100. I certainly want to do that. Let's use a high budget, and let's go heavy marketing. So we have a few points left. Ticket prices, I don't think we need to raise them yet, and we can't do anything to the arena. So we'll make those changes there. And guys, it's time for free agency. And you know where our target is. You know there are 2 main targets here in free agency this season, David Pastrnak, Pavel Zacha. And the one thing I didn't do was sign Mackenzie Blackwood. And I had signed him previously, so I just went into, speaking of which, I went into commissioner mode. I had to be in commissioner mode to make a lot of these deals. So I went into commissioner mode and signed Mackenzie Blackwood to the contract that we had signed him to initially. Which was 5 years, $5.3 million. So made that deal just to kind of get that taken care of. But our target is this man right here, the 27-year-old David Pastrnak, coming off of back-to-back 40-goal seasons. If we can get him and Zacha and bring them both in, I would be perfectly content with that. So let's immediately go in and see what Pasta is looking for. 6 years, $8.23 million. So let's meet the demand. And I actually want to give him more here initially. Let's give him 9.2 here. Let's give him 9 here. 8.75. 8.5. 8 and 7.5. No movement clause. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with that. Let's submit that offer. See if we can bring Pasta in. What does Zacha want? 3 years at 4.5. That's a really reasonable deal for the 26-year-old. So reasonable, in fact, that I think we can give him more than that. 5,250. 5. And let's give him 4 here in this 3rd season. Submit that. So we still have a little bit of money left. I think defensively is an area of opportunity for us. Zacha and Pastrnak are obviously going to solidify the offense if we can do that. Let's look at defensemen. Oof, there's not much here. Artem Zub, Justin Holl. I mean, those are... Gavrikov's not terrible. 16 defense. What does he want? 3 years at 4.6. I mean, I would be okay with 3 years, but not at 4.6. 4, 5. 4, 5. And 4. He really wants that deal. Okay. What if I bump this up to 4.2? Now he wants 4.5 on the no. Yeah, I guess. He's 27 years old. He's a big, defensive, rugged defenseman. All right, let's submit. All right, so we've got offers out to Pastrnak, Zacha, and Gavrikov. Let's go ahead, and we're just going to sim a day at a time. My monthly expenses exceed my available resources. Lower your spending on the budget pages in order to continue. Really? Is that enough? I guess it is. Okay. So we're going to stick with our same budget, which is fine. We have 1,000,001 scouts. I don't think we need to worry too much about that. I'm excited about the draft. We got a lot of draft capital. Depending on the lottery, we may end up with a Shane Wright. That would be really solid. I am recording, right? Yes, I am. The game is thinking about it. I'll show you guys the awards here in a minute, too. Gavrikov, I don't know. I mean, that seems maybe like a bit of an overpay, but again, to bring in another defenseman who's got those 16 defensive ratings, big, rugged, we don't have a ton of offensive defensemen, but if we just run with 6 defensemen who are at least a 15 defense, I mean, feels like that puts us in a pretty good position. This is taking forever. Thinking about it. All right, let's keep simming ahead a day at a time here. See if we can get. I think I want to offer. Glendenning's really good defensively. Look at those defensive ratings. What does he want for a contract? Yeah, that's really reasonable. 2.2. I'll meet that demand. Yeah, 100%. All right, let's sim ahead a day. I don't want the U.S. team job. We will delete all the messages. Glendenning, this offer won't do. Okay. Coyotes are offering more. He wants 2 point. I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3 million. You're 34 years old. You won't get a no movement clause, but $3 million per year. We'll do that. Let's go ahead and sim ahead a day. We got the draft lottery coming up here shortly. I think right now we have the 3rd overall pick. Okay, Glendenning now likes the deal. Let's sim ahead one more day. Just want to save it, especially with the issues I had with the initial playthrough. Yeah, I don't have any idea what happened with the initial playthrough. It just won't load anymore. So I was able to get everything fixed, or fixed as close as it can be. Obviously, nothing's going to be perfect, but fixed as close as it could possibly be. Time for the draft lottery. Let's see where we stand. We currently have the 3rd pick. Nothing has changed yet. And we pick 4th. Okay, so the Wild have the top overall pick. So we dropped down 1. That's not great, but that's okay. I want to see, though. I mean, obviously the prize here is Connor Bedard, right? That's the real prize. So we will talk to the Minnesota Wild, I believe, had the top pick. We'll talk to the Wild and see what we can do and see if we can move up to that top pick. So we are picking 4th. So let's immediately, I want to make sure I've got trading difficulty set where it needs to be. That's trading difficulty much harder. So now let's go to trade offers. Let's go right to Minnesota. We want your top pick. We will give you, let's start with our 1st round pick this year and next year. Whoa. Okay. What about 2025? Okay, so they will take 2 first-round picks. So I do have trading set on the second hardest hit, set on much harder. All right, so can we get this done for less than that? What if I just gave you, excuse me, my second this year? Oh, wow. Okay, what if I give you... Okay, so they won't take the 4th. So let's give you Carolina's second. All right. So we're going to move up to the top pick in the draft, and that's going to get us Connor Bedard. So let's go ahead and let's make that happen. Yeah, Connor Bedard is the newest member of the Seattle Kraken. So that still leaves us with a couple of second-round picks this year, a third and 3 fourths. So let's sim ahead. Let's go ahead a few picks. Quentin Musty goes 2 to the Ducks. Jaeger 3 to the Coyotes. Mitchkov goes 4th to the Wild. Flyers take Dvorsky. Cohen Zimmer to the Golden Knights. Coughlin might not be a bad pick. $18 years. He's more of an offensive-minded defenseman. Well, he's really not, though. He's got a 14 stay-at-home defense rating. He's physical. Who's picking right now? Draft order is Columbus. So let's talk to Columbus. Can we move up, or is that still just, are we at a point where it's still too early in the draft to trade a first for seconds? And I would give you my second, and, I mean, that's not going to be nearly enough, is it? Yeah. All right. Next pick. All right, Zach Benson. Okay, there was Coughlin to the Devils. Adam Fantilli. I mean, if Fantilli's there at, I don't know, 14, 15, something like that, I think we try. So let's see what happens. Callum Ritchie to the Blackhawks. Wood to the Oilers. Marin to the Oilers. Stramel to the Caps. There goes Fantilli to the Sabres at 13. We've got Matthew Ward. Andrew Cristal. Luka Hauff. Does not perform. Bit of a journeyman. Stats stays out of trouble. Playmaking ability. Game resembling Burakovsky. He may wind up being better than Matty Beniers. Okay, well, that's good to know. Miles Hillman's still a ways out. We don't have him scouted all that well. Nate Danielson. Rotundi. Matteo Rotundi, 6 foot, 192-pound defenseman. We have him scouted at a 3.5. OSA has him at 4.5. Can we move up for Rotundi? So who's picking now? Montreal. Let's talk to the Canadiens. Can we get your pick? Canadiens draft picks. We want your first-round pick. I am recording, right? I am recording. All right. So we will give you our second-round pick. And, I mean, is that enough? Interesting, but you have to improve it a little. I mean, would you take the third? Interesting offer, but yeah, I want to make sure that we have, that we use these picks to we need depth as well. So Simon Hughes goes, Cristal goes. All right, so where are we now? Ottawa. Trade offer, Ottawa. I want your first round pick, and I will give you our second and the Dallas fourth. Interesting offer, but you have to increase it a little. What about Calgary's third? Interesting offer, but you have to increase it a little. I don't want to give up both seconds. That's the problem. All right, next pick. Riley Height, Matthew Ward. All right, so he's still there. Rotundi's still there. Who's picking now? San Jose. should, at this point, be able to move up and get Rotundi, I think. Kraken draft picks. We'll do our second, and we'll try that fourth again. And San Jose, we want your first round pick. Interesting offer, but you have to improve it a little. What about the third? Oops. Wait, I don't understand. So how is that far too weak, but the fourth is not? I don't know. All right, there goes Rotundi. So I think now we just sim ahead to our next pick. It'd be nice if Hauf was there. 19-year-old. We both have him as 4.5 stars. I mean, he's still there. All right, Vancouver. Come on, Canucks. Give me what I want here. Vancouver, Canucks, first round pick, Kraken, second round pick, and a fourth. I know you want to do this. Increase it a little. What about the third? All right, so we're going to make that deal. I'm going to finalize the trade. We'll go back into the draft, and we will take Luka Hauf as our second pick in the first round, and now we will pick until human. All right, so we've got, what do we got? Looks like we have Hillman, who we don't know anything about, plays for Nebraska, Omaha. Ruslan Gazizov, he's in the OHL right now, a 19-year-old. Looks pretty good. Still has a ways to go, but looks pretty good. Theo Lindstein, 6 foot, 176-pound defenseman. Still a ways off, but they have him as 4 stars. We have him at 3.5. Mock draft has him going at 18. The number 4 skater. Little higher than Dennis Cholowski. Yeah, I mean, that's not particularly inspiring, but Ruslan Gazikov. Yeah, but I think we need the defenseman. Could go the overager. I think we take Theo Lindstein with our second round pick, I should say. We need some defensive depth. He was projected to go at 18. We get him at 57. I consider that a pretty solid acquisition. So it's now going to wait, and we go in the fourth round here. And now we can start to take, I don't want to say some chances, but, we can take some risks potentially. Number 11 overall European skater, around the current level of Jordan Eberle. He's a big kid, 6'3", 214 pounds. I like that. Or we've got Maxim Strabak, who plays for Sacred Heart, 6'2", 221. I'm leaning Kasper Haltunen right now. Yeah. Kasper Haltunen will be our pick here in the fourth round. Prokopenko, what do we got for ability? So we still have, I think we're going to take Guavin here. We don't really have much scouting on him. I like the fact that he's already 1.5 stars, but we don't know how accurate that is. We're not all that up on him. He's 198th overall skater. Yeah, I don't know. Mock projects him to go at 208, so we would be reaching here if we went with Guavin, or Gavin, as it will. What do we got here? Joey Vetrano, 19 years old, way off. I mean, he's not even close to being ready, but long-term outlook puts him around the same skill level as Matty Beniers. They have him going at 75. We're currently at 120. All right, that works. Joey Vetrano. We get another fourth round pick. I think we go with a defenseman here, Maxim Strabak. Yeah, they have him predicted to go at 65. Very strong. Looks like a 6'2", 221 pounds. We will take him. We're in the 5th now. Scout suggestions. They think we should take a goalie, which I don't necessarily hate. Carter Richardson. We're going to go with Noah Erliden. Mock has him going 177. I think we're right around there. Yeah, a little bit early, but sometimes you have to stretch to get what you want. So let's go to our next. Is that our last pick? That was our last pick. All right. That was the last pick of the draft. So let's go to our unsigned. And immediately, Connor Bedard, would you like to play for the Seattle Kraken? Jagger Furcus, would you like to play for the Seattle Kraken? Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, House not ready. Ottavinen's not ready. None of these other guys are ready. But Connor Bedard is your newest member of the Seattle Kraken. So if our offseason consists of Connor Bedard and David Pastrnak, I would say that is a pretty solid outcome, wouldn't you? Let's see what the let's get through the day and we will see what the what are we doing? We finished the draft. All right, yeah, we gotta finish the draft. Did we get that message that tells us the draft? Yeah. So we had the best draft. We had the best draft. Kraken, we pick up Connor Bedard, Luka Hauf, who's still a ways off, but I like guys, I like our entire draft. Wait a second. Why did it? Oh, all right. Well, it picked a couple of guys here for me at the end, but I really liked our draft. I mean, obviously getting Connor Bedard makes it huge, but that's a good draft for us. Able to trade up. So we don't have a first round pick in 2025, but that's okay. I'm hopeful that within the next couple of years, especially with these moves that we've made, now with Shane Wright, Connor Bedard, and Matty Beniers, along with hopefully David Pastrnak, that this will be a successful team in the relative short term. Really short rebuild here, if at all possible. So we'll sim until we sign those players, and then I will probably call it. And then the next episode will be the beginning of next. There we go. Let's go. So Gavrikov signs, Zacha signs, Pastrnak signs, and we are now stacked. We are a stacked. Look at some of this potential. We got Shane Wright. Can he play anywhere other than center? He can play the right wing. That's awesome. So we stick him on the right. But this first year is going to be Beniers in the middle with Pasta on his right. Maybe Zacha on the left. Oh, let's go. Let's go. So we went heavy on the on Eastern European. We picked up Pastrnak and Zacha, both from Czechia, and Gavrikov is the Russian. We still, I think, are going to need to fill in our roster a bit. I don't know that Riker Evans is ready yet. We will put him on the roster, but I don't know that he's ready yet. So we still have some cap space. We have one goalie, so we need a backup goalie. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 defensemen. We could probably use an 8th. And we need depth forwards as well. But again, we still have players that we're waiting to sign. But let's go quickly back to the free agent center. Yeah, so we got Bedard and Furcus that are going to sign, so that will be the rest of our quote-unquote depth. Defenseman, what do we have left? Zub is still ready. What is still available? What does he want? We actually won't have any cap space if we sign Artem Zub, but that's fine. We have time to to move on, to trade a contract or two if we need to. Gage Alexander. Yeah, let's take a look at goalies because we do need to bring in a backup goalie for sure. Aiden Hill. It's for $3.5 million. Lankinen, bring him in as a backup. What does he want? 4.7 for 3. No, I'm good there. Colin Delia, no. Phoenix Copley's not any good. I mean, Aiden Hill's probably the best of the bunch, and his contract demand isn't huge. You have anybody on the trading block? Whoa, Matty Barzal. Okay. What do we got here? Travis Sanheim on the trade block. 8 years at $6.2 million. That's so much money. But he's so good. I mean, he would be our number one defenseman forever. Brady Shea on here. I mean, they're looking to rebuild. That's the wrong team. He won't be traded there. You're killing me. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to be, I mean, none of these guys are even willing to go to Philadelphia, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah, like, some of these contracts, like Alexiak, Wenberg, like, we're going to have to do something, especially now. Wenberg, now that we're so strong down the middle, Wenberg, this season we got to figure out a way to move Alexiak and Wenberg. That's definitely a thing. So, I think, guys, I'm going to call it there. Yeah, it's been about, let's see. Anybody interested in a Wenberg? Couple of offers. Yeah, nothing any good. We definitely need, let's find that goalie. We definitely need the goalie. And then I maybe kind of offline, I spend some time. I mean, Aiden Hill, what does he want? He wants 3.4 for 3. I don't want to give him. Would you take 2? Take 2 at 3.5. He wants that third season. All right. 3 years. Backup goalie. 3.4. All right. All right. So let's just sim ahead a day or two and see if he gets back to us. That Aiden Hill deal is bugging me already. I'm already having buyer's remorse, and he hasn't even agreed yet. I think I'm going to back out of that. We're going to lean heavy on Mackenzie Blackwood and see maybe if there's an option as we get close to free agency. I may go back and talk to Zub instead once this thing decides to sim ahead a day. So I think what I'll do is after I get through this next day, we'll call it an episode, and then I will sim ahead to the beginning of the season. Okay, so he'll sign to the contract. All right, well, there's our new backup goalie, Aiden Hill. I mean, the ratings are fine, so I mean, I'm okay there. Cap obligations, we are at $84 million right now. We gotta get Dredger. We gotta get him gone. Somebody has to want him. No. All right. But yeah, we have some contracts coming off the books next season, at the end of this season, which is good. Drops us down to $71 million or $94 million. Okay, so we are going to have to move somebody here before the season ends. I forgot that we were paying Blackwood a ton of money. So this is my bad. We're now paying almost $9 million for our goaltenders. But there are some tradable assets here. We'll be able to move Wenberg, and he's probably going to be my top target, especially with Wright, Beniers, and Connor Bedard coming in. We are pretty well set down the middle. Defensively, I don't think Evans is ready yet. I don't really want to move. I don't really want to move any of these guys right now. But I mean, if we come into next season with Carlo, Gavrikov, Larson, Schultz, Siegenthaler, Chalowski with Alexiak, or Evans as our seventh, I think I'm okay with that. I would, you know what? I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna make that deal offer to Zub as well, because it was fairly cheap. It was like 1.7 or something. Yeah, 1.8 million for 3 years. What do his ratings look like? I guess I should look at that first. Good defensively. He's physical. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So improve the defense here to at a sacrifice of the offense. So make the offer to Zub, bring him in. We'll get Furcus and Bedard in. And yeah, when we come back, guys, it'll be the beginning of the season. I'll go through any last minute deals that I made to clear off some of that excess cap hit, and we will get season 2 underway. So let me know what you think. I mean, that went as well as we could have expected, right? I mean, trade up for the number 1 pick up Connor Bedard, sign the best free agent on the market in David Pastrnak, bring in Pavel Zacha, a couple other pieces, and we are ready to go for year number 2. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.